All right. Death Company. Got these 8 guys. Need to get painted up. Custom Death Company for a friend of mine. Does Twitch still say World Eaters? Man, Restream is not working for me. It does. Gotta learn how to fix that. For now, I will manually fix it. Bam, World Eaters. Get my mouse out of the way. This commission is getting close to being done. Yesterday I did a good portion of it. Really like these cool skull power fists. I like how the exhaust came out on them. They're looking good. I'm happy. The things I have left, I gotta do the metallics. I'm gonna have to do the plasma on this guy, which just bought some fluorescent blue for. I did fluorescent red on this guy. I could do fluorescent red again. Undecided. But yeah, metallics. I'm gonna do some edge highlighting, not a ton. I'm not Captain Edge Highlighter by any means, however, because I'm doing an oil wash on them after, well, an enamel wash. Same. Some edge highlights definitely help make it pop a little bit. Okay. Metallics. How are you today, Ryan? We're going to use Procryl Dark Silver. It's a really nice base coat, as the name suggests. A good dark silver. I'm actually excited to do the plasma on this. I haven't done a lot of plasma in my painting lifetime, but I feel like I'm starting to get the hang of it, so I want to try again. It's actually not like a crazy amount of silver on these guys. Some more than others, but to make it go nice and quick, using a big old number 6 paintbrush, one of my favorite, just base coat worthy brushes. We are trying to get paint on the model. Don't want to be sloppy, but you can be relatively quick while still making sure to paint within the lines. There's so much to paint. Finding the fine line between efficiency and quality. Speed and quality is key. Something I don't know. I should look this up. The death I'm just gonna look it up right now. The death masks on these guys, are they supposed to be metallic? These are custom masks. So I actually might not find a good reference. I don't even know if these masks are like lore accurate or not. I do think it would look cool. Yeah, let's try it. One thing you do have to watch with big old brushes, you always hear you gotta make sure you gotta thin your paints. Too thin coats. It's actually pretty easy with really big brushes to load too much paint, or too much water, sorry, in the brush. And then you get watery paint flowing out onto your beautiful miniatures. guess all of these, lots of these masks are just different. Got some beaky guys. These models are so cool. Something that I need to figure out. I had DMCA free, or what I thought was DMCA free music last night. Turned out to not be DMCA free. I definitely prefer to listen to music while I paint. But lots of this is new, and one of the mantras that I'm trying to take is to just do it and learn as we go. Don't let perfection be the enemy of progress. I think that's how that quote goes. Like finding out that restream does not change the titles, even though I specifically told it to. Maybe tomorrow, depending on how far I get. Someone gave me a little space wolf to paint for fun. I have no idea, to be honest. I did not build these. Jake did. I would think this one I have no idea. The one that I just had, I think, is from the kit because it has like Blood Angel iconography on it and a bone. But the owner of this commission has been in the bush camping all weekend, so I have not been able to ask him questions. It is a big ass chainsword, yes. As a Necrons player, fast melee is probably a little scary for you. Sorry, unmuted now. My wife got home, so just needed to chat a little bit. Some stuff going on. Ryan, I will send you a message, but we will book a time later this week and we can chat. We're all excited. Let's try put on a little bit of music. Wednesday might work, my friend. Also, I'm gonna put on some music and tell me if it's way too loud or... Which Aaron are you playing? Aaron Wisebroad? I don't actually know how to pronounce his name properly. He's a very nice human, though. I appreciate it. I've been putting some effort into getting a video together about these guys. Plan is to be putting out some videos for funsies. And yeah, it's a lot of learning. It's been really fun. And yeah, Aaron is, man, I met that guy, I don't know, a couple months ago because he signed up for a league. I also found out that he's like, lives in Toronto and drives down to KW for the league. And I was like, you're awesome and crazy. But yeah, just like such a nice human. Yeah, we are going... I really don't know what to call this body of water that we're going to. It's in Pushlinch. Hard word to say. I think it's a far stretch to call it a lake. But I also don't want to call it a pond, because to me pond sounds gross. Like dirty and murky. This is like a very large, clean pond. I don't actually know what the definition of a pond is. A pond might be like a still water. This is fed by something, which is why it's clean. But we're going to go there with the dog. It's where the dog learned to swim, and he hates swimming, but he'll do it there. Because it's like, I don't even know, the water's like 500 meters across or something like that, but I can walk to the center of the lake / pond, and it never goes above like my chest. So I just walk like far out, and then the dog gets scared that I'm out there by myself, so then he'll swim after me. It's hilarious. And he gets out to me, and then he's just like, bro, let's get out of here. What about you? Yeah. Didn't look like there was supposed to be any rain. Honestly, I was so wrapped up with work today that I am aware that it was raining. Oh, nice. Hell yeah. Hello, it's me, a resident. Man, the print lines on these custom bits are really prominent, in my opinion. Feels like they were just printed at like a really bad angle. Huh. That'd be fun, but that's far. Okay, so we're done. Now the question is, do I do a little bit of gold? Or do I do the plasma gun? Plasma's the right call. Work before fun. Actually, Jake does want the bases to be dark silver. I could just also do the base coat of the bases while I've got the dark silver out. Efficiency and such. Have you guys started your crusade? Hear me out. If this crusade like goes somewhere, and that is no hate, that's just coming from someone that's tried to start those things all the time, and you play like a couple games and they don't continue. However, if it goes somewhere, at some point when you're having a game and you're at the store, there should be a demonic incursion. And I just deep strike an army and start fighting everybody at the same time. It's tough with camp schedule too, as somebody that was a shift worker. I am aware of how annoying it is to try and schedule around shifts. I've been there. It sucks. You You should bust out that, like, whatever it was, like 6th or 7th edition ally chart. That thing was nuts. It's like, if you told me that Necrons were friends with demons based on that chart, I would believe you. Whoop. Oh, brother. You will learn that Google reviews, not unlike Etsy reviews, are at such a point of frustration. Such like a happy point. But then when you get a bad review for something that's like outside of your control, or it's just like nonsense, the amount of like bad reviews we've gotten because it's like, I'm not happy that Pokemon costs X dollars. It's like, brother, it's the market. But yeah, it's like everything showed up perfect, 4 stars. What did I have to do for 5? The joke I always say is that the only, or the next worst thing after a 1 star is not a 2 star, it's a 4 star. If you looked at our Google reviews, we have a 4-star review from someone that said, too much magic. I'm like, huh? And then that person was buying magic cards like a month later. There is a restaurant chain that I know of in town that is doing like a challenge where for every like X amount of 5 stars that the company gets, where the person names you, you get an entry into a raffle, and that raffle is at the end. Nobody knows this. I know this. They don't know this. You get an all expense paid trip to a resort of your choice, valued up to $5,000. Like, what? This is a sweet prize. And the manager was like, you know, we tell them, I don't care if they are customers or if you're just telling your friends to 5-star us and use your name. It really does not affect me in any way. Like, I don't care. I just want the 5 stars. So do whatever you can. Yeah, I remember you showing something about that. It is definitely weird. That also feels weird and, I don't know, not okay. Okay. Let's paint this plasma. See if I can get any better at painting plasma. Spoiler alert. Still new to it. Just trying to get better. This is what I tried. Again, I need to hit the white highlight on the inside so that it stands out more like the other side. So I feel like that side looks like decent plasma. That is too dull. Yeah, I feel like the competition being like, let's how would I put it? Let's manipulate the residents into giving us fake 5 stars. Doesn't seem great. Away with you, Russian bot. I don't know how to do that. Yeah, damn it. Away with you, bot. Whatever you do, don't do what he says. Oh, we did it. Kicked him out. You know you've made it when the Russian bots start showing up. Okay. Oh. Young summer child Ryan. Okay, the way that I trying to do this whole plasma thing. We're going to paint the coils white. Very white. We want it nice and bright. Because we're doing fluorescence. Fluo paint only looks nice and bright. It's over white. Just make sure those coils are well covered. I'm gonna do 2 coats of white. When you're impatiently painting something, having a hairdryer nearby certainly helps speed up the process, but nice and white. There's a little bit of white that spills over into or onto the side of the gun. That's fine, because the next step is to create a bit of a halo anyways with the airbrush. If you do not have an airbrush, that is absolutely fine. You can use dry brush, but airbrush is faster. Hey, go work, my friend. Thanks for coming by. I'll likely send you a message tomorrow, but either way we will set up to chat probably on Wednesday. Have a good day at work tomorrow, buddy. Okay, white paint in the airbrush with thinner and flow improver. Mix it up. Try and show me jamming this paintbrush into my airbrush. Yeah, see it, Ryan. Okay. Now we're going to airbrush a bit of a halo. Really what that means is I just want to hit like a soft outline around where the coils are. Ultimately, it's just going to help with the glow effect, because we want it to read as if this thing is glowing plenty hot. gotta listen to my airbrush compressor going. Okay. Bright, bright, bright. Take our trusty mason jar. Dump out the white paint. Again, if anybody's watching and is scared of airbrushing, if you watch me, you will see that it is not that complicated. In order to change colors, just spray water out of the squeeze tube. Just keep spraying, backflowing. I do quickly remove the needle just to wipe it off. Put the needle back in. Make sure it's coming out nice and clean. And then we get to add the glow. And for the glow, we're going to use a fluorescent color, aka fluorescent blue. Just purchased from wonderful Chimera Gaming, ChimeraGamingOnline.com. Again, we're going to go into the airbrush. My secret sauce is always the same, not so secret. A couple drops of flow improver. Technically that was 3 drops. We are going to put some fluorescent blue. 6 drops, which is going to be plenty because we're not going to need a whole lot. And then we're going to do about 3 drops of thinner. Because in the end, that was equal parts thinner / flow improver to paint. And mix it up with the paintbrush. In a backflow, make bubbles. And then we're going to test it. So we're just airbrushing. Now what you will find with fluorescent paint is it doesn't come out exactly like other acrylic paint. I find it is very watery. Like that is the same ratio that I would use for other acrylic paints. This is way waterier, so I'm going to end up using a hair dryer to dry the layers in between, because I just want to put on a bunch of really thin layers. I'm just going to mute my mic so you don't have to listen to the hair dryer. Nice and dry. Round 2. I'll ultimately do this as many times as I need to build up really good vibrancy. What I don't want is for it to get like an accumulation of fluid, like liquid paint, and then use the airbrush and just be blowing that everywhere, because then that's going to look bad. So I'm going to mute again and hairdryer again. And again, more fluorescent. Overspray is okay. We will clean that up. Actually, some overspray is like we want that. One more time. We're starting to build up. Some good vibrancy in the blue. After we have built up said vibrancy, I'm going to empty out. Knocked my camera with my head. I'm going to empty out the fluorescent paint. Again, not a tough process by any means. As far as using the airbrush. Okay. That one was that simple. I'm gonna mute once more just to make sure my blue is cured. Okay. Now it's going to be a test. We're going to use transparent blue through the airbrush, and what we're going to do is we're going to hit kind of all around the outside of the coils themselves, so kind of on the gun. This should be a darker blue, I say, as I've never used this before, but it's the fun part about painting. Learning by doing. Okay, again, same ratio. 3 drops thinner, 3 drops flow improver, 3 drops. Actually, that's not the same. I did make this one thinner. Did about 3 drops of thinner, 3 drops of flow improver, 3 drops of fluorescent blue paint. Not fluorescent blue, transparent blue. And what we're going to do is just try and hit around the outside of the gun. That was a little too much. Being real careful on the trigger here. It's just going to make that the coils themselves that much brighter. That is all that was. So we're going to empty this out. That's all of the airbrush time. And again, this is like, you could do this without an airbrush, 100%. I'm sure you could. The airbrush is like, anything that you do with the airbrush, you can kind of do with dry brushing. Not the exact same. Obviously, it's going to be like not as smooth, maybe not as accurate, sometimes more accurate depending. Maybe not. Maybe not actually ever more accurate, but you can get by without an airbrush. I don't want to. I very much like my airbrush. I use it a lot. But you don't have to have one. One of my close friends has never used an airbrush and he paints beautifully. Okay. Now, I'm going to go back to our white acrylic paint. We want to get actually a couple things that we want. We want to get along the bottom edge here. I also want to thin it down. Let's see even that looks. As far as like tabletop standard goes, I just get the bottom like that. Pretty good for tabletop standard. We do want to flood the coils a bit though. We want that white glow. And creeping up into the coils. As with anything, you decide how far you want to take a technique like this. Like obviously I could take a lot longer. Like immediately I want to hit this with fluorescent blue again. Actually, I think I might. Who knows? Could also potentially, like in reality, it would just look better if you had a white oil wash. What I might try and do is just that and then hit it again with a little bit more fluid blue. And then do one more pass of white. But one way or another, I think that's what we're going to call it tonight. Thanks for stopping by. If you like the content, I'm going to continue to try and do more and more. If you want to convince me to continue to do it, throw me a like, subscribe, follow, all that good stuff. Comments asking me to do. I'll paint anything. If you want to see something, more than happy to try and help you figure out how to do it.